Welcome to this latest mind map from ThinkingAudit. Today we're looking at ideas on raising the profile of internal audit. And three particular questions that came up as I was preparing this. Firstly, why do we want to raise the profile of internal audit, or why do we need to? Who are we going to raise the profile with? And how should we do that? So let's start off with why. To me, there's something here which just goes to what makes internal audit an interesting job and also a challenging one, which is that day-to-day challenge of getting the audit done, getting buy-in from your auditees, your stakeholders. And therefore, if we raise the profile of internal audit, we improve engagement, we help understanding of what we do, why, the benefits we bring. It should also smooth the process. So it should help the day job of everyone in the internal audit team, and actually should help the people working with us as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. Secondly, let's think in a more strategic level about the risk management and governance of the organisation. If internal audit has the appropriate profile, then we should be seen as a core part of the assurance framework. And hopefully that also means that there is a really good understanding of the role of the second line functions, the role of internal audit as a third line function, how we work together, and all of the wider assurances available to management and the board. So if we raise the profile, it actually should help the organisation use us in the right way. If you really make the most of the service, raise the profile, you should also be able to maximise the value that internal audit brings. Internal audit having the right profile also means that senior internal audit team members are more likely to be in the room with the right people for the right discussions, whether it be about emerging risks, challenges and issues. We should therefore be there and able to offer our support, advice, assurance. If we're not in the room, we can't do that. That little bit of a catch-22, we have to be in the room to be able to respond in the right way. Sometimes we'll need to raise our profile first before we get into those discussions. But there's a really, really key part of internal audit, which is being there at the right time and being able to offer up that critical friend challenge and that independent and objective advice and offers of assurance as well. Who do we want to raise the profile of internal audit with? Well, firstly, management, clearly really important stakeholders, and I'm thinking here particularly about that senior management team, the C-suite, the executive team. Secondly, the audit committee and the board, those non-executive directors to whom we're ultimately providing assurance. And then lastly, the wider business. We mustn't forget that in raising the profile of internal audit, there's a message that we can share about good control, good risk management, how internal audit can help. And we need to share that and raise our profile with everyone in the business, not just with a chief executive and his or her team. Of course, the key question is, how do we raise the profile of internal audit? And I've set out a number of ideas here in my mind map, starting off with something that I think is for some of our key stakeholders to help with, and that is setting the right tone at the top. This isn't just about internal audit, it's about risk management and assurance and good governance. This is a really core role for the chief executive and the audit committee. The other way that we can raise the profile is by raising our stakeholders' expectations of us. And we can do that in a number of ways, by stepping up when we need to. We can do it by exceeding expectations and perhaps bringing different ideas to the table that they weren't expecting. But clearly, when we raise the profile of internal audit, we need to do it by the positive things we're doing. And that links very much to the quality of work, the quality of our reports, our findings, our commercial acumen. So impact and quality are very closely linked, and I believe they link to raising expectations. If you have an audit committee that perhaps is a little bit old-fashioned, does not like internal audit to look outside of non-traditional areas or to use non-traditional tools, then it's going to be more difficult for internal audit to raise those expectations, to demonstrate the impact. But this is where we have to be brave, we have to innovate, we have to use new tools, Data analytics is a great example of something that's been around for a long time, is now becoming really a core part of everyone's embedded day-to-day audit practices, and now we're beginning to see more movement towards AI and machine learning. And lastly, a really key area in terms of raising the profile of internal audit has to be stakeholder engagement. Ideally, this is something planned and organised rather than just ad hoc or reactive. A really good business process or business monitoring arrangement that means that internal audit works out who it needs to engage with and when, and that should be during the year, not just in developing a plan once a year. Good stakeholder engagement gives us the opportunity to demonstrate our business acumen to our stakeholders, as well as actually to help improve our business acumen, because we'll be learning about the business, emerging issues, what's going on all the time. Also, our ability to have difficult conversations. I think many organisations don't always appreciate that what they like most from a really good head of internal audit or audit leader is someone that can have those difficult conversations, but in the right way. Our interpersonal skills are so important as internal auditors. Just the ability to build rapport, to hold those difficult conversations, to listen actively are absolutely key to stakeholder engagement. All of this together helps us to demonstrate value, to raise expectations of value, really to bring together those elements of quality, impact, timeliness, value, everything that makes a good internal audit function. The internal auditors often can be quite modest. I've seen many internal audit teams do some excellent work and they really don't say much about it, particularly the more advisory side that perhaps has a bit less visibility with the audit committee. So my last thought when I was preparing this mind map was internal auditors need to blow their own trumpet more. Thanks for listening to this latest mind map. Some more on the way. Please do always share your ideas for any more mind maps you'd like to see from us.